Hi, I'm Miriam Joy and welcome to my studio. A lot of you have been asking how to transfer your patterns onto your gourd, especially a Miriam Joy design. So I'm going to show you how I have set these up for you to do that. I'm going to be using white graphite paper. You can use regular graphite paper if you want to. The reason I use white is I do a lot of black and white gourds and the white shows up. This sheet is 18 by 36, so it is about 3 feet wide, so there's a lot of it in the pattern. It goes a long ways. The first thing I do when I open it up is I cut enough of it that you can place it over your pattern. So we want to make it just big enough to go over the pattern. And you'll notice you have a shiny side and a dull side. You want to put the shiny side next to your gourd. That is the part that transfers onto your gourd. You can always test it if you're not quite sure. Just set it on your gourd, draw a line, and there is your white graphite. So the next thing I am going to do is I'm going to take my Miriam Joy pattern and I'm going to cut it out and get rid of all the excess paper so that you're not dealing with a lot of paper that you don't need to be dealing with. So we've got rid of that. We just dispose of that. And another thing that you can do if you need to bend it tighter onto your gourds is cut into your pattern. That allows a part to lay down that it doesn't have to fold over. So you can cut little slots into it like that. So there we go. We've got our pattern. So we're going to take it over to our gourd. We're going to decide which we want to be the front. And I'm going to lay this down. And I'm going to place my pattern where I want it on my gourd. And we're going to tape this on. If I can get my tape to tear here. I like to use the Scotch brand because it's easier to get off your gourd when you're done. Your pattern, excuse me. Boy, this is a stubborn tape. So we're just going to tape this on so we have all of this on our gourd. And I'm going to turn around and look at it and see that's not quite where I want it to go, so I'm just going to move it. It's hard to do upside down where you can see and I can see and everybody can see. Alright, now see how this would have been more wrinkled, and you could tape that part here and then tape that there if you wanted, whatever's easier for you. I'll just do that so you can see. And your graphite paper is reusable, so you can use it again and again each time. See how that, so that doesn't fold up there. I think that's good enough. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come in here, and I always use a pencil so I can see where I have been. And we're going to go right down the middle of the comma strokes. We're not going to do the whole comma stroke, but you want to see where the comma stroke goes. One of the reasons we do this is you can put the stroke right over it and it doesn't show. If you tried to trace around the comma stroke, you would not end up covering all that and you'd have a lot to remove when you're done. And I simply use a water and Q-tip, damp Q-tip, or you can also use a eraser, a gum eraser as well. But see how we're just putting that all in the middle of these patterns. That way I try and make all of my artwork so that everyone can do it. So if you need help, don't ever feel bad for having to use a pattern. Not everybody can do freehand work. There's no shame in that. It's just doing it. You should be proud of yourself for doing it. So never ever feel bad about a pattern. Especially if you like something or you want to make that special gift for someone and they like a certain object or bird or animal. Alright, we've got that all traced. And a lot of people will use an embossing tool, but like I said, I like to use the pencil because I want to see where I've been so I know if I transferred that part on or not. Okay, and there we have our pattern of the bird. This shows a little bit better. This is a little bit more darker into the gourd. If it had been a color on here first, it would show up even more. So that is simply how we transfer our patterns onto the gourd. If you have any questions about this, please email me at art@miriamjoy.com, or for any of my pattern, please visit my website at miriamjoy.com. And I think that about covers it. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you had a good time, and come back for more little tips and tidbits. Thank you. God bless.